A new spider hero is about to swing into the spotlight, and this time, the web leads straight into the shadows. Amazon Prime's upcoming series Spider Noir drops us into a rain-soaked, neon-lit city where corruption runs deep, secrets hit harder than fists, and our masked vigilante fights crime with grit, brains, and a darker edge than we're used to seeing. Let's see why the noir tone changes everything, and what clues might hint at how this Spider-Man fits into the bigger world of the Marvel storytelling. If you're ready for trench coats, moral gray zones, and a spider legend reborn in the night, stick around and let's get into the legacy of Spider Noir. Greetings, my friends. Mike here with Sci-Fi and more, and welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, welcome to our Team Sci-Fi family, where nostalgic positivity reigns supreme. Now, if you're a big fan of Spider-Man, like I am, then this upcoming Spider-Man live-action show might be of interest for you. Spider Noir is an upcoming American noir superhero television series developed for MGM Plus and Prime Video, based on the Marvel Comics character of Spider-Man Noir. The series follows an aging private investigator and superhero in 1930s New York City, portrayed by Nicolas Cage. Produced by Sony Pictures Television in association with Lord Miller Productions, Pascal Pictures, and Amazon MGM Studios, this series is set in an alternate universe within the Sony Spider-Man Universe franchise, and is the first live-action Spider-Man series since Nick Hammond portrayed Peter Parker and became the Wall Crawler back in 1977, followed by the Japanese television series Spider-Man in 1978. And even to be really technical about the very first live-action appearance, we have to go all the way back to 1974 on the PBS children's show The Electric Company, where Spider-Man was featured in Spidey Super Stories, with Danny Seagram portraying the first ever live-action Spider-Man. Recently, Amazon just released the first teaser for Spider Noir, and if you're expecting the usual red and blue wisecracking Spider-Man, forget it.
Oh, what a great time to be a Spider-Man fan, with Spider Noir coming out in May and Spider-Man Brand New Day coming out in July. The trailers look fantastic.
They do look great, and we have both of them coming up later in this video. Now, this is not the Earth 616 Spider-Man, which is Marvel's main comic timeline where all of our familiar heroes reside in. This is an alternate timeline, Earth 90214's Spider-Man, a black and white film noir take on Peter Parker, set in 1930s New York during the Great Depression. A world of gang violence, corporate abuse, dirty cops, and rampant corruption. He first debuted in Spider-Man Noir #1 in 2008, and this version of Peter is tougher, darker, and way more emotionally haunted. But to understand the Spider Noir show that is coming up, a brief overview of the comic that the show is based on might be helpful to understand what is happening in the show. In the Earth 90214 timeline, Peter is pulled into the city's rot after his Uncle Ben is brutally killed, pushing him towards a secretive, all-black Spider-Man identity. And his origin gets even more interesting. While investigating a smuggling ring, he's bitten by a spider connected to a mystical spider god idol, and wakes up after being bitten completely changed. And he starts a one-man war on the criminal underworld, taking on threats like Norman Osborn, the Vulture, and even rising Nazi influence creeping into America before World War II. And here's the big difference. Spider Noir can be lethal. He doesn't always pull punches. Sometimes he ends a fight permanently. And the story forces him to wrestle with what that does to him internally. Now stack that up against where Sony's live-action Spider-Man output is right now in the Sony Spider-Man universe. And it kind of feels like it's on a little bit of life support after the Craven movie, with no clear future beyond more animated Spider-Verse spin-offs, which are fantastic Spider-Man movies, by the way. I highly recommend them. But when the Nicolas Cage-led Spider-Noir trailer hit, it looked surprisingly good. Stylish, confident, like it has an actual point of view. It instantly felt like a turning point, because unlike the Sony Spider-Man universe movies like Morbius or Madam Web, this one looks like Sony actually brought in the right creators, the right tone, and has the right vision. If they stick the landing, Spider-Noir could be the best thing Sony's done with live-action Spider-Man in years. It'll be exciting to watch because it blends classic noir ingredients, mystery, corruption, moral gray zones, and tense street-level action with Spider-Man's agility and ingenuity, creating a fresh tone for the character. Live-action Spider-Man is back on TV, and that feels really, really good to say. And it's different and something we're not used to seeing. I have to say, if you like comic adaptations that feel distinct, more crime thriller than save the world, Spider-Noir looks poised to deliver just that. A slick, moody, and very different kind of web-slinging. And the hook is right there in the premise. An aging private investigator and superhero in 1930s New York during the Great Depression, grappling with his past. That's instantly different. The Great Depression setting is just a cool style that gives the show built-in stakes, desperation, power, money, and the kind of crime that don't get solved with big CGI skybeam. Then there's Nicolas Cage. He's already voiced Spider-Noir in Into the Spider-Verse. And if they let him go full hard-boiled detective with real emotion underneath, this could be perfect casting. Bottom line, if Spider-Noir commits to the noir tone, character drama, and the era's grit, this could be one of the most refreshing Spider-Man stories in years. Now, I'm sure there'll be differences to the character and the story from the comic book to adapt it to the series. One of them is obvious right in the trailer. In the comics, Spider-Noir is clearly Peter Parker, reimagined in the 1930s. In the series, the public setup leans harder into an older, worn-down private investigator who happens to be a vigilante, which suggests the show may treat Spider-Noir more as a noir anti-hero first and a classic origin story second. Also, Nicolas Cage isn't playing the character of Peter Parker in the show. His character name is Ben Reilly. I'm assuming because of all the legal property rights issues that happened between Sony and the Marvel Cinematic Universe about the use of Spider-Man's image and the mention of the name Peter Parker. But I'm okay with this change. Without going too deep into this, Ben Reilly is a significant character in the Spider-Man comics. He is the character known as the Scarlet Spider. Basically, Ben Reilly is a clone of Peter Parker and even took on the role of Spider-Man in the comics for a while, which gets pretty well explained in the Spider-Man Maximum Clonage comic storyline, or the Clone Saga. Also, the show looks like it'll probably lean more into detective storytelling. The comic is noir flavored, but it still reads like a superhero origin crime story. The series looks to be built for casework, investigations, underworld corruption, and long-form mystery. Again, more like a noir crime drama structure than a compact origin arc. I also suspect the characters and continuity will be reworked. The comic uses specific Marvel noir versions of familiar characters. The series will almost certainly reshuffle the cast with new characters, merged or composite roles, renamed or swapped villains, or even villains that don't typically get the limelight in live action to fit TV pacing and adaptation constraints. The darkness and violence could be recalibrated. The comic is already darker and more morally gray than your standard Spider-Man. The series could go more grounded and mature, like prestige crime TV, or it could tone certain elements down, depending on ratings and audience reaction. But either way, it'll likely sustain the gritty atmosphere more consistently. Plus, I suspect that Ben Reilly's spider powers may be used more selectively. The comic can go big with comic book logic and frequent action escalations, but the series might choose to utilize ration spectacle, such as tone, budget, and realism, focusing more on stealth, brawls, investigation, and tactical use of powers rather than constant superhero set pieces. And I would surmise that we can expect a new plot, not a direct remake of the comic book. The comic already has defined sets of plot beats and reveals. However, the series looks to borrow the Depression-era corruption, noir underworld settings and themes, but will probably build new mysteries, new arcs, and different turning points suited to multi-episode storytelling. I'm telling you, if showrunners Oren Uziel and Steve Lightfoot really do have a strong vision, Spider Noir could stand out the way the best Spider projects do, with confident tone, style, and character focus. Spider-Man Noir premieres on May 25th on MGM+, before its full streaming release on Amazon Prime on May 27th, followed by the theatrical release of MCU's Spider-Man Brand New Day, scheduled to be released on July 31st. Absolutely great time to be a Spider-Man fan.
I just watched the Spider Noir trailer again, and it looks like this version of Spider-Man will definitely stand out.
And there you have it, Cosmic Core. We hope you have enjoyed our video for the upcoming Amazon Prime show, Spider Noir. And if you did, please be sure to like and share the video. And if you can, hype the video so it moves more effectively through the YouTube algorithm spiderweb. And please consider subscribing to the channel if you're a sci-fi fan like all of us here, so we can continue our journey together as a team. Thank you all so very much for all of your continued support, and thank you to all of you that have supported the channel by buying us a coffee. That is greatly appreciated. As I am fond of saying, this has been and always shall be our channel together. You guys are the greatest science fiction team on YouTube, and now enjoy the trailers for Spider Noir and the upcoming film Spider-Man Brand New Day. Until next time, Cosmic Core, have a great galactic day.
Tell me why.
You already know how it ends.
Well, then, start from the beginning.
Ticks. Thoughts. Impulses. I manage to suppress them. Most of the time.
What's going on, Ben?
Wait, what the hell happened to him?
I beat up some guys in a bar. And I got plastered.
What are you thinking about over there?
Bit of an existential crisis, if I'm honest.
Struck a nerve, huh?
I can't believe our first hit MIT. MJ, Come on, pretend like you're not the happiest you've ever been in your entire life.
I can't.
I knew it!
Hi, my name is Peter Parker. You don't remember me, but we used to know each other. Something bad was going to happen, and the only way to stop it was to make everyone forget about me. Because I'm not just Peter Parker. I'm Spider-Man.
The hell, Frank? You just hit me with a van!
Quit your whimpering. Suit yourself. Mother.
Go home! And sometimes Spider-Man has to do the hard thing, even if it breaks Peter Parker's heart. What is happening to me? Oh, God. Excuse me, Dr. Banner. I need your help.
What did you say your name was? If DNA is mutating, it would be enormously dangerous.
Spiders have 3 life cycles. When between cycles, it can leave the spider vulnerable to threats.
We are faced with a danger that we can't control. One we can't even see.
Stay out of my way.
You're losing it, kid.
And for those spiders who make it through, it amounts to a kind of rebirth.
Nice flowers.
Oh, they're, a housewarming gift.
I'm MJ.
I'm just a neighbor from across the hall.
Friendly neighbor.